Good morning, traders. This is Mike with Rip or Die Trading. Day trading live, sort of, again. Went ahead and decided I'm going to just sit the rest of the week out and start fresh on Monday. I was up late last night thinking about my strategy that I've talked about the two that I use, and I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but I'm kind of going to combine the two, and we'll talk about that a little bit later after the bell. Just looking at AMD right now, we have a gap to fill below at 1980 area, which has also been a very big support level. So we've got another one, resistance level at about 2030. This is going to open up, looks like somewhere close to the same spot as it did yesterday, with the gap being about the same spot too. So yesterday it pulled back a little bit out of the gate, and it ripped all the way to 2050, and that's, I signed off before it got there, but said it could hit, once it got to 2050, then it would fill the gap and possibly die the rest of the day, which it did. So I stopped a little too soon. We'll see if it repeats yesterday, but like I said, good chance it dumps down to 1980 and then takes off. We got 4 seconds. Let's see what happens. Kind of back and forth right now. Level 2 shows a little battle. Looks like more buyers and sellers at the moment, though. Heading up to that 2030 area. $20.30 holding it down, and let's see if we head down to fill that gap now. That's a big swing. All right, there's my line. If it breaks through this, the next thing we got is that 2050 again, which so far this looks like a identical repeat from yesterday. Of course, it got through that 20. No, I was going to say it got through quicker, but it's still kind of holding. This would be a good place to get in for the pullback if you're wanting to go long. Volumes. See how the volume is low on this red candle compared to the green ones there. A lot of times that just says it's people taking profit, getting ready to buy again. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but that's why I said it's a good place to buy for a pullback, which, that was in the 20, 24-ish range. So right now you got over 10 cents of profit had you bought that pullback. And if it were me, I'd put in a stop for about 33 in case it pulls back, but I would be careful again at that 2050 area. Actually, if it were me right now and I was in with 5,000 shares, I would just take my profits. That's about $1,000. I put in normally when I get out in something like this, I put in a 3-cent stop loss. So I would have put in a 3-cent stop loss at 43 area. Well, looks like I've been taken out right there. So I'd have been happy with it though. Curious to see if it's going to break through 2050 today. It got to 2048 yesterday and then was down the rest of the day. $20.48. We've hit it. That would be nuts if it did it again the exact same way, but this thing's on a jet plane right now. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it got through 2050 today the way it took off, as fast as it took off, but there it goes. Will it 2050 hold it down again? So while we're just waiting, I'm looking at, I'll try to see which way it's going to go in the first minute and try to jump in that way. Probably would have been a good morning to do that on, but it showed strength the whole way. Would have been, as long as I get on the first candle. What happens sometimes is, you get in the second candle, you had that crazy pullback, big time pullback. And I wouldn't have been able to hold if I had got in at 2024 and it goes all the way down to 20. That's 20 cent with 5,000 shares. I'm down $1,000 in a couple seconds. So, and unless I had trouble getting out and it popped back up that quick, I'd be down 1,000. When if you look at this chart, it looks like, wow, if you went long, you made money. But that couple seconds where it just sucked back, that's enough to take anybody out. My kind of buy and hold strategy says, when the EMAs cross like that, you get in and you wait. You have either a profit target, which, if you got in when it crossed, you're probably in close to $20. 50 cents is a good day. If you could get in there and hold to that 50 cents, that strategy works really well when the stock's volatile. There are days where I went a week stretch where it was killing me because it would cross, go up a few cents, then cross back below, cross, go up a few cents, cross back below. Do that 3 to 4 times, and I was trading smaller size then, so I'd lose $100 each time. Now I'm down $400, and I'm like, well, crap, I guess it's gonna go nowhere today, and I stopped, and sure enough, the time that I didn't do it is when it made its big move of the day. So I'm trying to look at it and see when it crosses, does it cross near a significant level? Right here, when it crossed, it was where it opened, so that's significant. That's a red to green move. A lot of times people will buy on a red to green move, so that had been a good place to get in. If you missed that because it was so quick, the fact that it came down, bounced off that same level, and then continued back up, you could have got in there and still been in, really, because it's never really come back below that slower moving EMA. Depends on, you know, what your target is. Right now, this thing is fighting to get through 50, which, you know, volume's slowing down at this, unless we get another big green volume candle here. Well, the color really doesn't matter. That just shows what, it just matches these colors. But I mean, here it comes. It's moving now, so we could see the next leg up, or we could see where it falls. SPY's falling right now, so if this thing's gonna follow SPY, we'll see a drop off here. So for me, looking at this too, if I'm looking for this thing to fail, if I'm looking for it to go short, this has been an area of support for a while. So if the thing crosses this 2033 area and the EMA crosses as well, I might look for this thing to go under, cross the EMA, come back up and test this one more time. Then that would be more of a confirmation for me to go short. I think I got too greedy trying to hit the home runs in the 20-30 seconds, make 500 to 1,000 with big shares here. So I think my plan for next week when I jump back in is going to be kind of a combination. I'm going to wait for it to hit some of these levels here and show me an EMA cross, and then I'll get in for more of a bigger move. On the 5-minute chart, this thing is a giant bull flag. It's looking really strong. This is an area of consolidation here, so looking at this level 2 here, we got so many people sitting here at 2050. You saw it flash 1,000. That's not 1,000 orders. Each one of those orders equals 100. So we're gonna have to have a lot of volume to get through that. Let's see how it reacts to our line here. It bounced off of it for now. If you trade with your gut, it's not always the smartest, but my gut says we're about to see a big drop. There it goes. I mean, that's the beginning of a big drop. Let's see. Just looking at all these upper shadows, long wicks, whatever you want to call them, doesn't really show strength. Let's see if it gets above 45. Is kind of holding it down right now. Is it going to go? Well, is it trying to put us to sleep? It's a very low volume here. You know, price tends to fade with the volume, and we've got a little loss in volume here for sure. Every time it gets down to that 35 level, though, buyers step in. So this also, you can see the price action is forming a wedge here. Let's see if I can draw a line before it does anything. So between this 33 and then this price action here, so a lot of people will be waiting for one of those lines to fail, and then you'll see volume go up and pile in. Who's going to win the battle? Oh, here we go. Let's see what happens. It broke. Let's see if we get volume to pile in and go for the run to break 2050. This is also, see, this is a level, since it's fought it off twice, where once it gets up there to 50, you'll probably see this number right here get huge. You'll see it's a bunch of shorts piling in, trying to keep it below, hoping it fails. But if you do see a big number and it breaks it, that's where you see those short squeezes. You'll see this thing rocket up real quick if it gets to. See how many people jump in. See, it's already 1,000. Look at this. That's crazy. But it got eaten up quick. Looks like it's going to get through. Nope. People keep jumping in there. 17. Jeez, it's getting through. People are trying hard. If this thing gets through, we should see a big old candle. This is when I first started trading. I would buy right here, thinking, because if it does get through, yes, it is going to jump. But this is also a place where it gets rejected, and if it gets rejected, it's going to drop back down to here, if not even lower. So I'd much rather buy right here where we talked about and have that cushion, because right now we're over 10 cents already. If it doesn't get through, worst case scenario, we can put in a stop right now for about 42. Gets us out with our commission. All right, we got through. Let's see what happens now. There's always, people are going to have their stop set up through here. So after it fights through these last little bits, when I say 2050, 2051 through 353, that's all kind of in the same area, because you'll have all these. These are big orders stacked up right afterwards. people like to use these 50-cent lines as a kind of their stop loss, but they always put it a few cents behind it. That way, because I mean, how many times this thing hit 50 and then it would have taken all of them out? They give themselves a couple cents leeway for when it kind of just barely gets over like this. So I'm curious to see if this thing's gonna get held down or get through and squeeze. Lots of people still at 53 here. We get a big candle. We need a lot of volume to jump in to get through here. So many people stacked up. See 45 here, held it down for a while. And now that it broke through it, it's bouncing off it. It's held up as support. Still a bunch of people sitting here at 53. So the bad part about this new plan that I'm going to try to do is it's going to require a lot more discipline. It's going to be boring. For me, I get in trouble when I get bored because I like to get into positions, and if I'm not in one, sometimes I talk myself into dumb ones. Man, there's so many people stacked up here. If I was in long, I'd be screaming like, just let us go. Got people stepping in on the buying side here. 55's getting eaten up. SPY and NVIDIA kind of going up right now. Wow. Stacking up at 55 hard right now. There it goes. Looking at my, I don't see any real major resistance again until about 2075. So this thing stays bullish. But you see, we talked about this line right here. That would have been a really good buy. When it crossed here, 2040 area, we'd have got 20 cents if we wanted it. What is that? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes to get 20 cents, which, I mean, at the moment, it doesn't look like it's done. Where's the last little bit of... Now at this point, since we're through 50, we don't want to see it go back below it. You could put your stop at about 47 or 48 right now. Because when it crosses this major resistance like there, we want to see that turn into support. There we go. And you see this 2060 was trying to hold it down for a couple minutes there, and it got through. So now that we're through it, we kind of don't want to see it get too much below 60. And see, 60 failed, so if we don't get back above it soon, which, I mean, it didn't go too far, we just went back to the EMAs, but if we don't stay above 60, we might see the bears take control. And let's see, a lot of stuff going on. Nvidia is still going up, so this is probably just a pullback. Let's see, we got this level right here. We don't really want it going under. This is a very bearish candle. Some people would say, you know, that's a reversal candle, and it could very well be. I've gotten hurt so many times trying to short in an uptrend. I mean, and look at this guy. I mean, this is just, I mean, it could even come back down here to the 48 area and still bounce off and come back up. So for me, I'm going to do everything in my power going forward not to short these little uptrends, because see, if you'd have shorted there, it just went against you. So if I was in from down here, I'm still a little scared of that 75 and get close to it. So I probably at this point have my stop set right at 2050. I've got that locks me in for a 10-cent gain. Either that or, you know, depending on my mood, I could have, you know, once we hit this 2060, it's okay. You can take half of it off and move your stop loss, you know, a couple cents above your entry. So right here, which, you know, looks like if you'd have done that, you're about to get taken out. Lots of selling. That's why I was afraid of this area. It's creeping up on that 2075. Resistance is not always dead on the number, just somewhere around there. So, but, you know, I also told you guys it could come back to this, you know, area here. As long as it held, we could go on our next leg up. So, I mean, right now it's really hard to tell. Here's that 2050 line. For me, if it crosses under and this 2050 holds it down, you know, it'd be my time to get short. So 2050 is holding strong now. So if I get a couple more bearish confirmations, which it hasn't done yet, so it's looking pretty bearish right now at the moment. But like I said, this could be just a little healthy pullback for the next run up. The bad part about my strategy is we're down 20 cents already, and we're not in short, but we're not trying to get the whole move. This has gone up so much in the first almost 30 minutes now. Wouldn't be surprising if we got a big down down movement. 2050 still holding strong for resistance. All right. I'd be getting pretty close to pulling the trigger short, but not just yet. You know, stocks move in waves, so I haven't really seen enough of an up wave after this down to know if this is the top of the wave or the bottom of the wave. Oh man, I'd want to go real bad right now, short. All right, I'd go short right here, risking with the stop just a little bit above. So we're in at like, what, 47? I'd probably have a stop at 55. Let's see what happens. Getting blown up on text messages over here. Yes, that's Yoshi. This is where we want to see this 44, 45 area kind of held it down for a while. We need this to get through that. That plus we got this is VWAP here. If we can get through 40, we could be in for a pretty long down movement. This is where stocks play with you, you know. A lot of people at 50 again trying to hold it down. A lot of people seem to have had the same idea I did. I hope, you know, I guess I don't really have to hope because I'm not really in, but I'll be hoping there's a lot of people selling right now. So we can get rid of this line right here. We don't need that anymore. Remove drawing. Well, looks like I'd be out in a loss. See, that's the thing. I said it moves in waves. And we just bought at the bottom of the wave. And I just bought a little too early. I never did let my, you know, my rules that I'm trying to implement say, wait till I get the cross, and it got close here. The green never crossed the yellow, and that's when I'm trying to do my selling and buying is when those cross. You know, sometimes it gets close and you try to get in a little early, but, you know, that would have cost me money. And see, I would have, what normally happens when you try to get a little greedy like that and get a couple extra cents, you get taken out. And then now this is probably the move that gets through. But, you know, now you're gun shy because you just lost on that move. So, and you go back and you look at it and you're like, why not stick to your damn plan, man? But So we just got done talking about how that could just be a little healthy pullback as long as we don't get done, and that's what it could be still. But well, guys, it's we've been going over 30 minutes now. Probably one of my longer videos. Probably pretty boring as well, since again no trading today. We got Friday coming up tomorrow. Usually a slower day. Probably won't have a very long video, but we'll look at the open again. Maybe I'm gonna look into this modification to the plan a little bit more today. See how it would have fared in the last 5 to 15 days if only pulling the trigger when we get the green light near support or resistance, or a major level like opening or the gap, and see what it would have looked like. And then for me, I just got to figure out how to be okay being bored, because there might be days we don't trade at all. But if we don't trade, and we, a wise man once said, cash is a position. So, it's better to have a 0 day than a red day. So if we can limit our red days and maximize the green, obviously we're in good shape. And if we can do all that without getting scared and greedy, then we're doing something. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up. If you like what you see and you want to be notified when I release videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. If you have any questions, comment below the video and I will do my best to answer those. And until tomorrow, you guys have a great day.